Hope everybody's day was good today. Welcome back, tuning in. Welcome to Beyond the Shallows. I'm Malcolm, and we were Afro Vibes today. Today we have a special guest, a warrior, Nathalia, and she's a Taekwondo fighter. Elaborate a little bit more about that. Tell us what you do. Tell us everything about Taekwondo.
All right. So I started Taekwondo when I was 6 years old
Mm.
back in Brazil. I'm Brazilian. I have been doing Taekwondo my whole life. Now I turned into Kombat Taekwondo professional fighter.
Mhm.
So I fight all over the world. It's full contact Taekwondo. So that means punches are allowed, punches, elbows, knees, kicks.
Mm.
But of course, mostly kicks because that's
Right.
what Taekwondo does, right? But I haven't fought like Olympic Taekwondo for a long time
Mm.
before I decided to go professionally, and then I started like full contact Taekwondo.
Okay, so you went around the world. So, like, what places you been?
Germany, Spain,
Ooh.
Argentina, Philippines, Costa Rica, Luxembourg, of course, Brazil, all a lot of states in Brazil.
Right.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, which one was your like? What was your best? Which one was the best? Like, out of all of wherever you traveled at, which one was the best area you had to fight in? Like,
In terms of like
with this place?
place,
Yeah, place. Like, which one you enjoyed the most?
you know what? Colombia.
Colombia.
Colombia was the one that I enjoyed the most.
How's
Yeah.
that?
Well, the vibes was kind of like more familiar with Brazil, so
Mhm.
it's like very close. Of course, like Europe is very, it's pretty, it's
Mhm.
nice, the food is delicious as well. But Colombia, I think it has like a special place in my heart. So
Yeah.
it's like it was people were super nice there. It was the first, yeah. Also, like it was the first event of Kombat Taekwondo. So and then that was like the beginning of this new challenge that I have ahead of me. So I think that's why it has like a special place because like it was the beginning. So,
Yeah.
but it was the whole trip was super nice. Like the whole event was super nice. I think that's why. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I gotta take a trip to Colombia, man. I haven't been out the country yet, so you kind of giving me a push to that.
You should. You should.
So,
You learn a lot when you go to all the places. You
right.
learn like all the cultures, like all the
Yeah.
people and food. So I think like it just adds up to in your life, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope. Well, that's the first thing that I'm gonna experience the food because I am a foodie. Everybody know I'm a foodie, so I like food. So, quick one before we get deep. So, if you could do one Taekwondo
Mm-hmm.
move, one favorite move, what would it be? If you could do just one move
I think it would
for
be
the
the
night,
back kick.
the back kick.
Yes.
Yeah, I
The
figured.
spin kick.
You
Yeah.
gotta teach me that one day.
Yeah. You can see like most of my like my videos on like social media. It's, I'm always throwing a back kick.
You know, I watched some of your videos and I seen you throw those back kicks, and I was like, man, when she get up here, I'm gonna tell her to teach me how to do those, man, during the break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's another icebreaker question right here. I want to know this
Sure.
because me, I play football, so typically during, let's say, TV breaks, sometimes the stadium will play my music. It'll turn me up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as you being in, fighting, if you hear your song in the crowd, will that turn you up? Or like how would that be? How would that feel? Will
For
it turn
sure.
you up, or will it knock you off your focus, or will it turn you up?
Would turn me up for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's cool. That's cool.
I think that's why like every time like when we professional fighter, you choose a song to get in, so you
Yeah.
walk in. So I always choose the same song
Yeah.
because it is a Brazilian song from this Brazilian singer that she's amazing. Her background comes from like my religion too.
Right.
I have a African religion we
Mhm.
call Umbanda, so it's the music it talks about a lot like the life and how
Right.
she's like a very like strong person, you know, like in terms of like a woman. So it just turns me up when you walk in. I'm like,
That's what I'm about to
damn,
ask.
yes.
It's like, as a fighter, like, what type of energy that walkout music brings to you as a fighter? Like,
It's insane. It's a lot of adrenaline. It's
fuel to the fire.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I figured. I figured.
You have
So,
to have like a really good like a mindset to be like, okay, this is I have been working like 2-3 months
Mhm.
for this. It's like,
Right.
you know, like if you think about this, same as a game, you
Mhm.
train like tons of hours,
Right.
and you go in the game is like what, 2 hours, 3 hours
Yeah.
game. Like for
Mhm.
me, it's like this type of fight is like 5 minutes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you
See,
do all that for like 5 minutes. So
exactly. And that just I'm gonna let you know right now. Me as a football player, home game, away game, in the stadium, they playing my song. It's turning me up.
mm-hmm.
No matter what it is,
Yeah.
what the score is, it's gonna turn me up. Just play my favorite
For
song. We're
sure.
gonna get by 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, all that.
Yeah.
So I wanna talk about some things like for you as fighting, like what sparked the love of fighting for you? Like what sparked that? What brought you there?
I think well, my family was always like always motivating me to do any sports. Like
Mhm.
I try like every sports that you can imagine. Of course I started with soccer because that's like everyone in Brazil does, right? We start with soccer.
Mhm.
But I have tried like all the martial arts. But my dad and my big brother, they also did taekwondo
Oh,
on their
okay.
life. So that's actually how I started because I was very
Oh.
attached to my big brother,
Mhm.
and I was always with him. So
Mhm.
once he started taekwondo, I'll go with him, and then eventually I started practicing too.
Okay.
But I was always like a very like active kid. I always wanted to do something. I couldn't just like stand.
Right.
And I always like my mom was like, okay, let's try this, let's try that.
Mhm.
And at some point she was like, okay, so you gotta choose one thing to
Yeah.
go for. You can't be
Yeah.
doing like all these activities throughout it. It was like spends a lot of money too, right?
Yeah.
So my mom was like, so you gotta choose one thing. So then I chose taekwondo.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So for you representing like Brazil and then the AAU, which is a big stage,
Mhm.
like let's say somewhere behind the scenes, like how is it behind the scenes, like before you get ready and everything, and knowing it's a big stage you about to
Mhm.
go out on and do your thing, like how is it behind the scenes?
Well, nervous, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
of
no
course,
way
yeah.
you're not nervous.
Agree, agree,
But
agree.
also happiness. Like, you
Mhm.
know, like when I think that I just posted today about like how blessed and how grateful I feel for to live the life that I pray for.
Yeah,
Like I pray to be living things that I'm living right now.
right.
And I know that there's tons of people that like they do sports and then they don't get to that point.
Yeah,
They don't get
absolutely.
to the point to do
Absolutely.
things that they love to do, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So every time I go for a fight and before I step in the cage, I'm like, man, I'm doing something that I really like.
Yeah.
And this makes me happy.
It's a blessing.
Exactly. So that's why like I'm always like I'm nervous of course, but I'm so happy that I get to do that. I
Right.
get to perform. I get to inspire other people
Mhm.
to do sports, to do martial arts, and especially kids and women. That is my like my goal is like inspiring people
Mhm.
that they could do martial arts, not to be an athlete or like a professional,
Mm.
but martial arts can bring you so many things,
It
so
can bring
many
you a
good
lot of
things.
things.
And I think everyone should try it once in a life.
Yeah, for sure. I
Hmm.
agree. So, because it's a lot of women out there that, you know, street fight a lot, but they should use that into, in some competition, get paid for your street fight. You know what I'm saying? So you get paid for it, man.
Yeah.
So, like when you train, when you fight,
Hmm.
what mindset do you tap into? Is it killer mode or is it?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Always like I'm always trying to give that 100%.
Yeah.
And then I always think like I have a cousin that unfortunately he passed away a couple years ago. That
Respect.
he always told me like 1% every day. So everything you do, you're adding 1% at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm always trying to give me 100% when I train. I put my mindset that, but like, this is one more training that is getting me close to my goal.
Right.
So, and then of course, sports, you have a limit time for it. So no one is gonna do like no one's gonna fight professionally forever or like play football forever. You know?
Right.
Everyone has the limit. So I get to do that for a certain time. So I'm like, okay, so until the time that I retire, I'm gonna give my all.
Oh,
And then
yep.
it's I'm not gonna be doing this until like I'm 50 years old.
Right.
So I have some years. So I will enjoy that years, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
So let me ask this important question for a lot of people because a lot of people like to say, work hard every day,
Mhm.
right? So when you say train hard or prepare for anything hard, Is it all physical or some of it is mental?
Oh, mental for sure.
Okay, now, because a lot of the youth, when they hear this from big major professionals, they say work hard every day, but they don't get the real definition of working hard every day.
Hmm.
They think it's sacrificing their body every single day. So could you elaborate on more of how you focus, train every day, work hard every day, not only physically but mentally?
Sure. I think that like you do have to understand your body.
Right.
You do have to know how to read your body.
Absolutely.
You know, like I train 14, 15 trainings a week.
Mhm.
That is a lot.
Yeah, that's
And I also
a lot.
teach Taekwondo, so I'm always like constantly moving. But sometimes, like, when is it I'm like, I'm gonna do one training today, and I'm gonna do a massage session,
Right.
or I'm gonna do an ice bath,
Right.
or I'm gonna just do mobility and stretch,
Mm.
because I know how far my body can take.
Right.
And then it took me a while to understand this.
Mm.
Of course, like you said, when I was younger, I always thought that
Yeah.
you should be working no matter what.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen so many people that like they're burnt out.
Yeah.
And then
Quickly.
some people lose their whole career because of that.
That and injuries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like the injury, the anxiety,
Hmm.
the depression, and it always comes. It comes to that once you don't take care of you mentally. Like I do therapy.
Yeah.
You know, constantly
Therapy.
because I need to. And then I took a while. Oh, thank God I went to, when I was in Brazil, I went to a team that they do had a therapist there.
Oh, that's good.
And then we do every week, we do a session in the
Mhm.
group. And then if somebody needs a little more attention, we do one-on-one.
Right.
That's how I got into therapy. I didn't know it before.
Mm.
And then she told me, she helped me understand that I can work hard, but I also need to understand that my body is not built to do that.
Right.
You know, like a football player, you're not built to like get hits every
Every
single
single
time.
Yeah.
You know,
Even
like
though we do,
exactly.
but we gotta learn how to use your hands and protect yourself.
Yes.
But you're right,
You know,
100%.
that's why like when I don't want like, thank God none of my fights I got like my face bust or
Yeah.
anything.
Absolutely.
Because I'm very conscious of moving and then blocking,
Mhm.
because of what I don't want to getting hit in the head
Yeah.
every single moment. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you do it. That's the part of the game.
Because you want to walk away. You want to walk away healthy.
Yes, of course. Mhm.
At least healthy a little bit. I'd rather walk away from the game with a scar or a bruise or
Yeah.
something than a broken neck
Than a
or
broken-
brain
But
injury.
yeah,
like,
for
or
sure.
any long-term injury.
Hmm.
For sure. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
important. So so you are a champion, right?
Mhm.
So how many belts you have?
So Taekwondo, we don't have belts.
Okay,
We do have
okay.
medals.
Medals.
Yes. So like gold medals,
Mhm.
I don't even know.
So here's the question though. Medal, right?
Yes.
Who were you before the medal and after?
Before the medals, like
How it created you gaining that medal. So before the medal, you was a hard worker. Obviously, the story that you gave us. But after you won that medal, how did it affect you?
that made me gave me a lot of responsibility.
Right.
No doubt about that. Like,
So
and then as soon as I started getting more people that will be like supporting me,
Mhm.
and then saying that like they saw my fight, they like to see me fighting, everything.
right.
You have to think that everything that you do affects the other people too.
Hmm.
Everything that you let's say about social media, right? Everyone is in social media.
Right.
Everything that you posted, it's out there for everyone to see it.
Right. Right.
If you posted something that you're doing and then it doesn't seem right,
Mhm.
people will do that and be like, okay, but Nathalia does that, so why not me? You know,
Yeah,
I should
no.
do it too.
Absolutely.
So it gives you a lot of responsibility to be like, people are looking up to you.
Right.
And not just outside, but like my team, my
Mhm.
coaches, my training partners,
Right.
everyone, like my sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone look up to me and be like, okay, she will sponsor, she not, like she's stepping in the cage, she's stepping on the mat with my name on. That's my team.
Right.
You know, that's the gym that I work for.
Mhm.
So you have to think about the people that you have behind you, like people that is coming with you.
Oh, that's dope. I'm glad you say that. So we're gonna go a little bit deeper after these commercials, man. Stay beyond the shallows, or we get deeper. All right, see you. Welcome back to Beyond the Shallows with Nathalia, the fighter. So I got a good question for you.
Mhm.
When you first stepped in the ring to compare it to when you first won your medal,
Mhm.
how did that feel?
Well, I first stepped when I was around 10 years old,
Mhm.
and I was scared as hell.
Oh man.
I was super scared. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did not like to fight when I was 10.
Mm.
I was good at fighting.
Mhm.
I was a fighter already, but I did not like it.
So you've been whooping since 10 years old.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
But
good.
but I didn't like I didn't know how to deal with the feeling of the competition
Mhm.
and then being like a lot of people, a lot of screams, like rules, everything, like in terms of like in compared to whenever I was training at the gym.
Right.
So at the gym was like certain people, 6 of us.
Mhm.
It was comfortable.
Okay.
So going to a tournament was totally out of my comfortable zone.
Right.
So of course I was very nervous when I first got my medal, and then everything just changed
Mm.
because
So you mean by the like what you mean it changed? So
it changed because I had a reward.
mm.
So I knew that, like, okay, I get nervous, it's very out of my comfortable zone,
Mhm.
but this is so cool. I was
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
so I can do something in my life with this, you know.
Mhm.
So when I first got my medal, it was nice, and of course everything changed. So I wanted more. I want to compete more. And I want to train more. But I was very young. I was like 12, and when I started like actually training, and then I just started losing. So I lost. I'm not gonna lie, I lost for like 2 years
So what where we gain that focus back? You being a champion?
because I moved to another city.
Mhm.
So like when I was 17, I moved to I got a proposal to go to a team that it was the best team in Brazil.
Right.
They had around like 30 fighters, and then 16, like no, 8 fighters were national team members
Okay.
out of 16 people. So like half were from that team.
Mhm.
So when I got into that team, everything changed. I became a white belt again, even though I was a black belt. But the team, the mentality, and then the way that they work was so different that it put me back to zero.
Mm.
So before losing all that, my first state competition with them, I won first place against this girl that I lost for her so many times. Like I never won against her. So after that, that was actually my most special medal, the state. I know I have fought like nationals, international, but that state tournament is one of my favorite tournaments
Mm. Why is that?
because I fought to win against that girl
Mhm.
that I knew I was better than her, but
Right.
I was so uh like stuck mentally
Yeah.
whenever I step in the mat against her, and then I won like that. I won
You
that
know,
moment.
that's a highlighted moment. So like this would it takes us back to what we talked about things mentally,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So mentally, walk us through that point. Like what turned you up mentally for you to be able to defeat the girl that you wanted to defeat? Like when you had to really dig deep into your mental state, what was it? What did you grab? Like what was it?
It was actually I put in my mind that I really wanted to do that as my career.
Mm-hmm.
So I started taking a little more serious.
That's good.
So I was like, okay, so if I really want to do that, of course, my mom gave me a ultimatum too. She was like, if you really want to do this,
Mm-hmm.
you have to put your 100% on it.
100%.
So that's when I was like, okay, so this is my life. I'm gonna start training more than I used to train.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna dedicate it my time. I missed a lot of birthdays. I missed a lot of parties. I missed a lot of like go outs with friends. I missed a lot of things in my
Sacrifice.
early 20s. But I don't regret like not even like 1%.
So that's basically you speaking like faith, right? So
Mhm.
as far as like faith, um, how does that look like in your life? Faith and fighting, like how does that look in your life?
It's 100% linked. Like I do nothing without my faith.
That's yeah,
And I used to tell, I used to say that if you have faith, you have everything.
facts.
Because and then you have to think about it's not just like a religious kind of thing, but your faith is like something that you believe.
Right.
So if you have faith in yourself, you are going to achieve the things that you want to.
Which is gonna bring me to my next question was, do you think that fighting is more physically or spiritually?
Spiritually, of course.
There we go, man. You got your answer. This we going deep. Now we going beyond the shallows.
For sure.
So we know that everything is not physically. We talk about it being mentally. So when we talk about the mental part, spiritually is a part of it.
It is.
All right. So spiritually, what drives you spiritually?
It drives me to, like I said, like putting myself out there, getting me out of my comfortable zone, and then believing that this is just one part of my life. And then whenever I'm done fighting, I'll have something more to give out to people. So of course I have a lot of goals in my life. I want to have my own gym. I want to be known around the world. I'm not gonna lie, I want people to know me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want people to look up to me and then be like, if she did it, I can do it too.
Absolutely.
So and of course that's why like I have faith in myself that I can be that person and I can achieve the things that I want to achieve in my life.
I have faith for you too. And this is a start right here. Afro Vibes, the shot beyond the shallows. This is where it starts. Have you ever had a moment where God like check you in places like in your career or in fighting period that God had to check you, humble you, put you in a place of like, all right, this is real.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna tell you a story. Long story short, okay?
Yeah, come on.
2016, I got hit by a car. So I was stepping out of the car, another car came, hit my leg, like, completely broke my tibia. I had a surgery. I had, those screws I said outside the leg, those metal things. I had that for 7 months.
What type of car was it? It had to be.
It was like a random car, yes. And so I stopped fighting for 2 years. So from 2016 to 18, I stopped fighting.
Right.
The very last months of my life, I was at my top. Like the last year before that, 2015, I won every single tournament. Right. And then I think my ego went up during that time. So I was thinking, I was like undefeated. I was like, nobody could beat me.
Right.
But it got me to a point that I would go to a tournament and then I'll like underestimate my opponent. And then I don't like doing that, So I'm not sure. I don't know if I do know that the accident, of course, it was meant to be. It gave me to stop my life and then be like, you need to change. So I think God put me in a position that is like, do you really want to do this? And then if you do want to, you got to do it the right way. And then the way that you're doing is not the right way. The date of the accident, I went to a party. I came home at 6 a.m. That was the time that I got hit by a car.
Oh.
And I had a competition in 3 weeks. So today, man, I don't go out like in 3 months.
That's good. Yeah, I don't go out like
because I know that I do have to preserve my body to that big moment that I wanted.
Right.
So that's why I think like the accident was something that it had me to like stop and be like, you gotta change. Like like I said, like people was looking up to me already.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to give people the wrong impression of like what a professional fighter should be.
Wow. When I heard that story, it kind of like put me in the mindset as you in the right direction. And before you tried to steer a wrong way, God placed you back in a position that you need to be in. And that's deep. Because sometimes we may think that when something happened like that life is over, journey is over, or it's because of this, is that. Sometimes God does things for a reason.
For sure.
For me, I ruptured my Achilles in practice.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice. Because I ruptured it in practice, got surgery, and tore it a week later for just being up on a scooter going to our games and stuff, but which is, you know,
Yeah.
it happens. If God allowed things to happen, it's going to happen for His reason, for His glory, you know. So, I understand that, and it taught me a lot within the time I was training. So as I was getting stronger in my leg, I was getting stronger spiritually, mentally.
Right. Yes.
So with that, your injury, like, how did it change you mentally and spiritually? Like, how did it grow?
100%. Like, whenever it happened, I
Mhm.
had so many questions, right? I was
Right.
like, why
Absolutely.
this
Yeah.
happening to me?
All the
Like,
time.
I was like, this is wasn't meant to be right now. Like, this is my highest moment in my career. I
Right.
thought my career was over after that.
Right.
I got depressed. I had to move back to my parents' house, and I stopped everything. I lost partnerships. I lost
Man.
money. I lost everything, and it really put in my mind, like, the doctor even said that I could not fight again.
Right.
I could never fight again.
Oh,
And then after that, I was like, okay, so this is something that I really love to do.
mhm.
The first months was really hard.
Right.
It was really hard. Then I had to find my faith, because of course I was questioning God. I would be like, why are you doing this to me? Like, what, how bad did I think I did things to this to happen to me right now?
Yeah.
You know, I was questioning, and it taught me so many things. Like I said, like, it taught me, like, to be stronger. It taught me to have more faith. Like, my faith it went from 0 to 100%. Like, I did not have faith in that moment.
Yeah.
And after the accident, faith is everything that I have. Everything that I got, you know. So it changed me mentally, it changed me physically, it changed the way that I was training, it changed the way that I was doing things. Like, I started, like, after that, I started working a lot on blocking, a lot of defensive. I got so good at defensive because I was for so long only using my arms to defense, that I got to a tournament that, like, no one scored me anything. Like, I would score the kicks.
You really telling me something. But keep going. I'm getting You're telling me something.
And so that was the moment. That was, like, the most moment in my life that, like, everything changed, mentally and physically. And that was the moment that I was like, okay, I'm doing this,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do it the right way.
Okay, that's good. I like how your foundation is set. Nice.
Yeah.
You came on here to Shallows to give a lot to a lot of people, and people are going to take a lot from what you're talking about. Now, God has something He wants me to give to you.
Really.
So I have broke something down. I was like, God was saying, look, man, give her this, give her this, give her this, give her this. I got to give her some. I'm like, all right, what you want me to do? Is it physical? Like, what? They were like, no, I want you to give her my word. So this is for you. And I wrote it down. Whatever, you know, when God get to talking, I get to typing. So here it is right here. I'm going to read it to you. All right. So He gave me a particular verse, and it is Psalm 68 and 11. And it says, the Lord gives the word. The women who announce the news are a great host. So let me read that again. The Lord gives the word. The women who announce the news are a great host. You got a clue what that means? Let me break it down to you. All right. So what it's speaking is that this verse speaks directly to divine empowerment and a purpose-driven voice, and you are the voice. You're not just a fighter in the ring. You're a woman that is delivering a message through your actions and your discipline, what we talked about. Yes. And your story and your strength. So it's crazy how everything that's popped up aligned to everything we talked about today. So it also says the Lord gives the word, right? So this is the particular part in the word we talked about. The Lord gives the word. So your journey, discipline, and success is not random. So the things that happen in your life wasn't random. Right. All right. They are rooted in a deeper calling. So that's why we go beyond the shallows. So your calling is deeper. Yeah. And your life is a testimony of what happens when God places a word, a purpose in someone else's life. So this is some of the things that you talked about that you wanted to give. And God is telling you have the right to give. Right. So
That's awesome.
the woman who announced the news are a great host. So this what this means.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You are one of many powerful women rising up, right? Not just to fight, but to proclaim resilience, faith, and strength through the platform that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So God is giving you that platform to give back to others
Yeah.
because He's giving you so much and walk through your journey with you that you have so much to give back.
Right.
So He wants you to give that back,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's amazing.
And He said, every win, every challenge you share is more than a sport, it's a message to others.
Right.
Anything. It wins, draws, losses, God is in control of everything.
Yes.
Right? And it's for a reason. But we give him thanks because we are able to play.
Right.
So it's a message to others, especially for young women, that they can rise too.
Yeah.
And that's what you said.
Yes.
So everything was written.
That's crazy.
Everything was written. And it was all like perfectly aligned.
Yeah.
So it affirms that you're not just winning fights, you're fulfilling the call.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all about. Like you're a modern day warrior who carries the message of faith, grit, and purpose to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you're here.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. That's a big thing. So all right, so did you come like defensive to protect the injury, or was it like more so, or was it more like so you didn't want it to happen?
The defense.
Yeah. So
Well, like I needed to do something, you know. So I needed to. So I said, okay, so there's a moment that like I can't kick. So what should I do?
right.
So I should be working on something that I can do right now. So like I literally train sitting in a chair. Like my leg will like this, and I'll be like one person, my friend will help me, and I'll start doing that like
what? Something.
okay. So let's say like we have like pads, right? So we'll have pads. So like say like you right here. So she would be literally like
Oh, my bad. No,
here.
okay.
Yeah. So like if you do it to me, so it would be right here. So you go.
I want to show how to pass.
Yeah.
And she uppercut like.
Yes.
Ah.
So here. So since we were only doing kicks, so like it goes like down here. So like if you go to the body, so like you
Okay.
if you swing like so,
So-
so it'll be like
Okay, let's see how good you. I'm gonna test you out. Five blows. Five blows. Let me see. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
1. Okay. 2. Okay. 3. 4. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it right there. I like that. 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 Okay. Well, she got it together though, for sure. I didn't want to swing too hard because I know something's gonna counter back to me, so I gotta chill. You know what I'm saying?
gotta go.
Do you feel like you're an inspiration? Because you've inspired me. Moving countries, learning languages, coming back from career injuries. Do you feel like, that you're an inspiration to others?
I do, yes. Like as like I teach Taekwondo to kids,
Mhm.
right? And it's always so like so fun whenever I come back and the kids were like, we saw your fight, or like the parents like, I show my kid your fight, that was so awesome, la la la. And then whenever a kid be like, I wanna be like you when I grow up.
Mm.
Damn, that gave me like
Makes you feel.
yes, it makes me feel like okay, that's what you said about the calling, you know,
Mhm.
about like what God is giving to me that I'm giving to others.
Right.
So like I'm giving people a way,
Mm-hmm.
like giving people like hope.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I think like if you have hope, you're living,
Right.
you know, so you live your life. So it gives me like, okay, I'm in the right path.
Mhm.
Like I'm doing this, and then this kid is looking up to me, even if it's just one kid. Like
Woman, yes.
if I can change like one kid's life, like my life was worth it.
Because that one kid could change thousands of others.
Exactly.
And just
exactly.
because you
Yeah.
sowed that seed in that one kid,
Yeah.
that one little girl, she have sown the same seed in a million more people.
Yes, of course.
And it's all because of God
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
will use you as a vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you came on the show today. We learned a lot. I've learned a lot. You inspired me. Now I'm finna go to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
Taekwondo, boxing, MMA,
You should.
UFC is going down. So this is Beyond the Shallows. Thank y'all for tuning in with Nathalia. We'll see y'all again next week. That's kind of dope.
That was awesome.